Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use a yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it's 60 dose. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yes, Jah people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
Yeah, no, the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Of the engine a run like mechanic room.
The time has come for lions to tell I own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Dejazmatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, man, bringing to your Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari, because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Impressment and bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rastafari, I hear you.
Aye.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Yo, this is Zelle representing for DejKwasi and the whole lion voice family. Now listen, this is the realest thing. Him closer to me than a brother. Him a me G, me I tell him I'm a lion. Me I go tell you how me feel, me I go keep it real. Me nah go wait till him lay down on the mark. Lion voice never talk bad about me yet. Him realness me can't forget. Cause when I game time, him never bench me. Him never rise up against me yet. No, the friendship connect. It's funny how we can talk in front of a million people and never yet drop no catch. So a loyalty till death. Lion voice, and Selassie representing. Up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I jolly for say that.
Greetings, this is Haile. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, yes, sir? Haile said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, yes, sir?
I will never never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Oh, yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what could I eat right now?
What about a city samosa? Get your samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican, and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the first, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The youths them rise against brutality, man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery, black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as their enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now, riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting, I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting, then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing our youths them. No court, they just execute them till the people start learn the truth. And the black youth go strap on them Gideon boot and Them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. Bun bad police right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. The Most High denounce their philosophy. Talk to United Nations properly. He said we will fight if necessary, and be confident in the victory. They tried to erase our history. They wanted to change our destiny. Cause we are the children of the Almighty, destined to lead the whole world to harmony. Well, front to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you gotten your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety, and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative, and very historical, right?
Them call him Christopher when he was born, rainfall from the sky. Them call him Christopher when he was grown in airplanes he fly. They call him Christopher the lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Christopher read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration from Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Voice Live. Welcome to Lion Voice Live and welcome to the Lion Voice Network. It is the sealing of the sabbatical order, and we just want to greet the global family as we gather here just to do a review. I said today for the topic, I want to just do a review of where we are as it relates to World War III, prophecy, all of these kind of things. You know, in the span of history, as a historian myself, I like to look at history and see where we are, and also to sound the trumpet, because one of the jobs that we have as Rastafari independent non-aligned media is to sound the trumpet. And I'm calling this period that we're currently living in the tender mercies. Why do I call it the tender mercies? Because I feel the Almighty is merciful on I and I, because Babylon could just collapse in a day and most of us would be in big problems if the collapse of Babylon that we chant about happened. So then, you know, we would be in major problems. But all of these starts and stops, it gives us opportunity to get our house together. The housekeeping. You see, I start my episodes with housekeeping, and I tell everyone, make sure you're doing housekeeping. Make sure the home front is taken care of, you know what I mean? And this is the time for us to do that as a community, because as we see, World War III is not over. It's a sweeping tide, just like the tide that's sweeping Africa. The uprising of the continent is a sweeping tide. It's the universal balance. As Great War approaches, the Great Uprising is also approaching, and you have to choose your side, you have to pick a choice. There is hell, which is the war and the trauma and all of those things, and then there is Zion, which is the building and the positivity and the healing. So you have to choose. Anything that you don't change, you choose. That you have the power to change. So remember these things. So we're gonna go into some geopolitics today. We're gonna touch on what's going on in the Middle East, Israel, Iran, that whole situation. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about what does that mean for I and I, because I was chanting, and you can check the record on the channel. I said that Israel and Iran were going to go to war. I said America would be involved. All of those things. We have a recorded record of saying these things, not because we are super smart or whatever. It's just that we know the trajectory of where the thing is going right now based on the prophecy. We talked about the clean break strategy that was employed by government of Israel and the United States, which predated 9/11 terror attack and the global war on terror. We talked about General Wesley Clark talking about 7 nations that would be invaded within 5-year span. That 5-year span extended, to a 20-year span pretty much. However, it's happening. All of the nations that he named in his thing, and you can go on YouTube, General Wesley Clark predicts the wars. Put something like that in your YouTube search, and you'll see the brethren blocking the sound. And this was right after 9/11. Iran was the only country on that list that had not been invaded, and that happened in the month of June. Israel invaded, attack, war of aggression. For Rastafari people, we know those words very well if we study the Italian invasion of Ethiopia, war of aggression. These are all things that are coming back into the public awareness if you're watching. And I know a lot of I and I don't watch the news, and we don't keep tabs on what's happening, and that's why I like to do these episodes as just kind of a summary for the family so that we know the time. We're going to be talking about the global supply chain on this platform, because that is a concept I want all of us to get into our heavens, the global supply chain. I want every Lion Pride to Google, be aware. That's how goods and services travel around the country. That's how the toilet paper reach on the kitchen shelf. When you look at where things are made, you recognize a lot of these things are not made in the country where they're consumed. These things move around the earth via the global supply chain, ships, whole heap of ship, and some instances cargo planes. We're going to be talking about it. One of the beautiful things that's happening right now in the Lion Pride on Patreon is that we have some brethren in there who are truckers, and we're reasoning about a Rastafari Truckers Association. We're going to have a brethren come on and talk about the global supply chain from a trucker perspective, how things connect. I want us to start thinking about these things. So I call this time the tender mercies. If you're just joining us, no matter where you're joining from, leave a comment in the chat. Let us know where around the world you're watching from, if you're watching live. I call this time the tender mercies, because I think that the start and the stop of all of the calamities, we had the COVID lockdown. These were things that our elders told us would happen. Leave Babylon before the gate closed and you can't leave. You know what I mean? And we see these things happen. And, we find ourselves, if we're honest, not prepared. Because how many of us could have just jumped on a plane during COVID and come out of Babylon? When we see these signs. Most of us, you live in check to check, you live in month to month. You're just trying to survive in the cycle. So, to I all of these things. However, one thing for during COVID, I made the trip to Ghana with the youth. Them spent some extended time there, purchased land, did some things that probably wouldn't have happened had not the lockdown happened. And for everyone, I think we have to be in a preparation mode because a lot of us are thinking about repatriation as a distant concept or almost like a, you know, idyllic type of sound that is not real. And what we are saying now is that everything that we're seeing in terms of signs internationally speaks to the need to go into a time of not necessarily isolation, but self-sufficiency. The reliance that historically that we've put on central governments to meet your basic needs, clean water, shelter, food, all of these things. Right now, we see that with the priority being war internationally, a lot of these things come into question whether or not you can trust your central government. Think about Flint, Michigan in America, where the water was poisoning the people. So, do we have access to clean water? These are the things as Rastafari we have to consider. The solution that I have are decentralized autonomous communities, meaning that you have, small communities that are self-sufficient, that are tied into a larger network or web to have a larger network. So the things that this community may not specialize in, they can trade with the next community and so on and so forth. A return to the Asian, but utilizing modernity, because my vision, we would have our own satellites, because Starlink and them thing, there is a private company that deal with Starlink. So that shows us that what private individuals have their own communication network. Communication is vital. I don't think that we're going to go backward from the internet and from online and the connectivity that it provides, that I could sit in my gates and talk to the whole world. You know what I mean? I don't think we need to go back from that. But we need to have an ownership stake. We need to have our own infrastructure to interface on the internet, on the interweb, as they call it. That is the shift. You know what I mean? So I'm calling for preparation during this time of the tender mercies, the Almighty, allowing us to see the starts and the stops. Because one thing for sure, family, the war between Iran and Israel is not over. That is one thing for sure. The war in Ukraine also heating up, Russia versus NATO. This is why we can call these world wars. Now, what's happening? The colonial powers are losing their colonial possessions, their vassal states, particularly in Asia and on the continent. These countries are waking up. Governments now, they've kept control of these countries through subterfuge, manipulating the democratic process, coup d'etat, assassination. The whole history of the global south will be there. Ones will be able to see it, you know what I mean, and read about it. It's all available, everything I'm talking about. But what's happening is that the people are wising up. Places like Burkina Faso, like Niger, like Mali. But what is happening in these countries is happening around the world in different instances where people want to control their own resources. They want fair market value for their resources. And therefore, the tables are turning. When an economy historically, you can check all of the empires, when the economics start to crash, the answer is always war. So this is why we could be so confident months ago, even over a year ago. You can check on the channel, go through the backlog of the channel. I've been chanting this sound now, because we know where it's going, and it's the worst has not yet come. We talked about the Straits of Hormuz. It was national headlines after the attack of Israel that Iran was threatening to shut down the Straits of Hormuz. They didn't do it. Don't feel like a lot of backdoor um, reasoning wasn't taking place to try to prevent these outcomes, because the shutdown of the Straits of Hormuz over there in Iran would shut down the entire global system. So, what this episode is about, family, is about reminding us that even though we see things start and stop is not as bad as we think it would be, that doesn't mean to ease off the gas. That doesn't mean to not be productive, to not use this time to build, to prepare. Um, all of us, particularly all of us who live in cities, should be seeking land or accommodation outside the city that have access to places where you can grow food or have close communication, barter relationship, some type of interaction with a place that can grow food right now. As a Rastafari, this is your duty to seek that out. If you're not in a kind of collective where you can access food, you don't know any farmers, this is your duty in the next few months, as the summer months are here in America, to go and find some farmers and introduce yourself and, you know what I mean, become knowledgeable of where the farmers them there. I big up my Habisha family every time. I've been blessed as a board member of Habisha to be tapped into the urban agriculture space, the black food sovereignty space, and some beautiful things are happening in that space, in terms of mapping out, um, where the black farmers are, and how food and things can reach underserved communities. So a lot of that work is being done, and I am very thankful to be in the know. But if you are a brethren, particularly the Almighty has called you to the head of the household, you're chatting with your queen as a king, you have to secure the kingdom. You have to make sure that you have contingency plans. Don't make your contingency plan just be the government is going to do the right thing and make the right decision. That's what I'm trying to tell people right now about this time of the tender mercies. The Almighty is giving us time to get our house in order. Part of my vision for the Lion Pride, why I started this channel, is part of my pivot from depending on income directly from the practice of law, which if the system collapses here, and we have to move rapidly, and I'm totally dependent, then that's gonna leave me in a situation, creating a global infrastructure, going into the media. I can do this while I'm on the continent, and we can still operate and bring forward information and fullness, you know what I mean? So this is the things that I want from the global family, even if, when you think about making money, find ways that you can make money online if it's possible, or you can make money, not just from your local, but from a global. That means if you have to move rapidly, you can still tap into economic strength. Very critical in this time. So this is, again, we're in the time of the tender mercies. That's what I'm calling this time right now, the tender mercies, giving us additional time to get our houses in order, in terms of hierarchically, in terms of if you are living in the West and you have not made your first trip to Africa, now is the time to buy that ticket, to touch your foot on the soil, to do your reconnaissance. I'm not one of those brethren who say repatriation is a must, and when we go to Africa, I now come back, because I like information. I don't want to go someplace and that place don't fit I. So you need to travel and be realistic. So for those brethren who, and I know sometimes it's your immigration status and them thing. Now is the time, if you can clean it up, or making a hard decision and say, you know what, I just going to make the step and I'm leaving, and I'm going to relocate here and build to move forward, or I'm going straight to the continent and faith. Sometime, if, depending on your circumstance, that might have to be a movement. But this is the mentality. What I'm trying to avoid from the global Rastafari family is right now no one should be feeling comfortable with them foot cock up, kick up in the air, and all you know. Right now is a preparation time, like the ants in the summertime. No winter is coming, and they're busy gathering. That's what time it is right now. All right, let me get into what is taking place geopolitically, because I want to break down what's happening. We're going to seal up right at 7. We have the IDOR study group today, right after this. So I have a hard stop at 7 today, so we're not going to do an extended show. If you want to be a part of the anniversary development of Rastafari Study Group, you can join our Patreon for free. We have the link in Patreon, or you can become part of the Lion Pride on Patreon, our paid Patreon, and there are other exclusive things in there. And we're building our community, become part of our inner circle as we build. We'll get to a little of that later, but we don't have a lot of time, so I want to get into what's happening. Right now, we're in the midst of a ceasefire between Iran and Israel. America dropped bunker buster bombs on 3 sites in Iran. This is unprecedented, family. I don't know if the item know how serious, because, again, Iran and America were having negotiation. These are unprovoked attacks. These are completely against international law. If His Majesty was sitting up in the United Nations, this would be cause for great, concern. Total violation of the UN Charter taking place with the attack first of Israel on Iran, and then America, big superpower, violating the sovereignty of Iran and dropping bombs. What act of aggression? Iran responded by firing shots to American base in Qatar. Now, the great thing about this was that the American bomb dropping and the Iran bomb dropping was mostly theatrical. There were no casualties. They informed each other before the bombs were dropped. This is the global chess game, of what's happening. What happened? Israel was not ready, family, for the missiles that Iran unleashed on Israel. If the war didn't keep going, Israel would have destroyed. And Israel have something called the Samson Doctrine, where they have nuclear weapons that they will use if they feel threatened. So this became a very serious thing. Pakistan said, if a nuclear weapon is used on Iran, we have nuclear, we're going to fire some on Israel. So this thing, when you talk about, and this is why we call this world war, because many different actors are happening. The tentacles stretch into Africa, because Ukrainian soldiers allegedly are training the militants against the Sahel countries. And why? Because the Sahel countries have aligned with Russia. So everything tie up in everything. America just did a deal with Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. The West was pushing Rwanda in the Congo to get the minerals. They did a deal now to get the minerals. Why they do that? Because BRICS is rising, and the countries are nationalizing their resources. So it's a global scramble right now taking place for resources. So we have to look again at the chessboard. But there is a tremendous opportunity for Africa right now with this war in the Middle East, war in Eastern Europe on the Russian border with Ukraine. These are 2 international wars that have been sucking in arms and weapons now for over a year. Now, all of the attention that's happening, because war is extremely expensive, means that funding for other places has to cease. We saw with, the U.S. is halting some of the shipments to Ukraine because they have to restock in Israel. And what does this also mean? This means that a lot of the money that was going to Africa to fund opposition groups and insurgent groups, a lot of that money is being diverted to prepare for these two wars. America has also stated publicly that they want a war with China. So a lot of that money is going. This gives Africa a little window of opportunity. There was a big headline that Mali killed about 80 terrorists, breaking the back of some of the resistance that was rising against the Sahel. Why are these victories happening? Again, the attention of the West is shifting to deal with these major war in the Middle East. And so these Africans who got boots up to carry out Western interests, a lot of them are being left out to dry. The supply chain. Again, remember the term that we talk about, the global supply chain for these opposition in Africa. The money I get scanty. This is the opportunity that we have now as Rastafari Pan-African community to, as we return home to Africa, we come with projects and things that can employ the youth so that their opportunity, that's what the youths are lacking. Any foreign NGO come to Africa, whether it's arm them to kill or whether it's teach them to farm and build, the possibility is there. Is just the West has used arm and kill as the number one objective. But I can go in there and teach them to farm and build once we have the capital, and it's going to benefit. So we have to now come with the alternative. This is why you hear I always talk about economics, capital, strategic. We got to be strategic thinkers, as Rastafari family. I want us to be more strategic. Yes, it's good to have the zeal and the emotion, but we have to know that this is a global war and we have to be strategic. This is why self-development is so crucial right now. You have to build yourself so that you can play your part. The Almighty can utilize you as a utensil. You don't want to come to the battle and you give the Almighty a rusty gun for fire. No, you make sure that you are doing the best. What does that mean? Try to eat better, exercise, hydrate. When you see I'm drinking out of a Rastafari business, Ramia King Design Rasledge. You gotta hydrate right now. Take care of your goodie. Exercise. If you put on little weight, take it off. Do some running in the morning. Make sure your back will feel ready, because any card can play. You don't want to have to be dealing with health and other crises while you're navigating on the battlefield. Anything can shift up anytime in these kind of historic, life-changing times. So what we have to do right now is self-development. Again, link with like-minded individuals. And this is a good time now to talk about the Lion Pride on Patreon. We're building a community here with like-minded ones. We have town hall meetings that we have once a month, networking opportunities. We're connecting, we're finding out what people are doing. We're seeing how we can help to support their businesses. And now the latest is that we are also opening up the space for single brethren and sistren to meet each other, because one of the things ones reach out, we have our show Lion Love, and one of the things particularly the sistren are saying it's hard to meet solid Rastafari brethren, who were hardworking and dealing with what them have to deal with and not playing no games and preparing for Armageddon. So we're opening the space, and like-minded, serious people, that is the key. We don't want joking people in there. Respectfully, we want serious people. You can join the Patreon for free and watch the town hall meeting. You can see the caliber of brethren and sistren that we have in our Patreon. couples as well, not just single brethren and sisters. Where again, we are building a community, all nations, all races, all creeds in the Patreon. We are a Pan-African platform, so our priority is Black Rastafari rising because we're underserved and we need that strength right now of ourselves, for us, by us. I believe in that. But we don't deny anyone because we still have to have allies from every nation, every tongue. We just know we're lane. And I'm a big advocate of that. Know your niche, know your lane. I chose the hardest niche, Black Rastafari, to support with one another as one of the hardest. But we are the ones who set this liberty that spread to the four corners of the earth. So we have to feed the root so that the branches can be strong. And that is why we created this channel. That's why we select the guests that we select. That is why we focus on things like Rastafari and STEM, Rastafari, love and relationships. We're talking about the things we need to build a strong Rastafari future. It's not just a hype or get the most popular person or who's going to get the most clicks or the most likes. That is not our focus. We could do that because we have links to just do that. Look for the popular people and do that. But that's not the desire, because this is a medicine. This is what we need. I was called to do this work by the Almighty, and I answered the call dutifully. But we have work to do, and we're going to continue. A brethren reach out to I and say you want to see more reasoning on local community development, in terms of brethren and sisters working together in their local community. We have a lot of powerful brethren and sisters working internationally, but they're not active in their local spaces. And the brethren is saying we need all of the strength. And I agree. And this is, again, preparation. If you're just joining us, we're talking about an update on World War III. I'm calling this period the tender mercies. And what am I referring to? The start and the stop. COVID, we had the lockdown, then everything free up. Then war, then everything free up. Then this and that. You know what I mean? So what it is it showing us that something is coming. We all feel it, but they're giving you time to prepare. Who have eyes, let them see. Who have ears, let them hear. Because if you're not prepared, and I think the cutoff line is 2030. I could be wrong. And we're going to have to talk about our plans for the centenary of the coronation, which was 1930. So it's a big year for us as Rastafari. But if you look at most of the development plans of nations, there's always a 2030 development plan. Globalists, a lot of plans in John 2030. So we're watching that date, but it could come before that. I wouldn't get complacent and think you have this whole heap of time. But I would, again, be in preparation. We have to have spaces outside of the cities that we can still supply. We're going to have to talk about security, how we secure our spaces, whether it be that we need to make alliances or what type of defense. Because if you have the food and the rest of the people them don't have the food, yes, we can share, but we're not going to get bullied. You know what I mean? So we have to think about these things. This is the vibration. And the next thing I want to say to my global family, if you're in spaces where the reasoning is just talking about people and gossip and conjecture, now is the time to remove yourself from those spaces. Do I need to talk again and say it again? Let me say it again. If you're in spaces and you're not hearing these type of reasoning, preparation, improvement, unity type of reasoning, and you're in the space, I'm gonna tell you about this next man and what him do and what him not do, and this woman and what she do and what she not do, and it not get you to your goal, or it not help you to get closer to your purpose. You're in the wrong space. Now is the time as a spiritual being, you have to know how to navigate hierarchically, you know what I mean, on the King's Highway. That doesn't mean that we ignore and we become a fantasy and everything is rose colored glasses and you're naive. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we have to acknowledge the challenges, but if you're in spaces or you're reasoning with people who are not reasoning productive, we're creating something, we're building something while we're spending time together, you are in the wrong space right now, and it's likely that will lead you down into hell. Now, tell the item how serious it is right now. um, the choices you make with your time are going to determine where you end up in that time. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in the city when the bomb them a drop. You know what I mean? The only way you can avoid these things and be underneath the hierarchical aura of Psalm 91, you know, in the secret place of the Most High, you have to be in that divine frequency. You have to tap into that internal divine. Those who can tap in, you're going to navigate away from the trouble before the trouble comes. You know what I mean? Through the powers of the Almighty, because He has His angels here to build, and then He also has the death angels here to bring down judgment. So the choice that we make, you know, I say that His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First made a militant stand for peace in the 70s, when we look at the movements refusing to deal with the Derg through military matters, when he still had the loyalty of most of the army and a lot of elite troops. He could have dealt with the Derg on a military. He chose mediation. Same with the student revolution and uprising. You know, choosing not to deal with it. He chose peace. You know, he set the precedent. Behold, the upright, mark the perfect man, for the end of that man is peace. And we saw the manifestation so great that they said that His Majesty was senile. You know, that was the sound that he had lost his mind, because he chose peace, and ionized his children to I that is the final order of His Majesty. It's not for I and I as Rastafari to pick up a long gun and go fight guerrilla warfare. They have angels who will be doing that and are doing that, and we pray for them angel there too, because it's a serious thing. You know, I'm not gonna tell the resistance a man to come try to take your land or try to destroy you, that you can defend yourself. That's a basic human right, and it's protected in the UN Charter. However, that is not for I and I to pick up guns and things. I and I, Armageddon has passed. You know, His Majesty said that Africa calling now for the sons and daughters to build. And I want to big up Burkina Faso. They said they just found another gold deposit, and it seemed like a lot of gold deposits and gold reserves are being found. Watching in geopolitics, you have to overstand. Right now, the dollar is no longer the world's global reserve currency. It is officially on paper, but gold now has become that store of value. Every central bank is buying gold. I just saw something, BlackRock now investing heavily in gold. All of the big money people are buying gold. So what does this mean? This is a great thing for Ghana, for Burkina Faso, which is the fourth largest producer of gold in Africa, and all of these countries now that have nationalized the gold, because it means Africa is sitting on real money. It means that the resources to develop are going to be there in abundance. And the great thing that Captain Ibrahim Traore did is to create a refinery, so they don't have to send out the gold to refine it into gold bars and store it and these things. So right now is a beautiful time, and I as Rastafari have been called home to contribute to the building. And this is why we're telling brethren them to get themselves organized. Get a job if you need to get a job, brethren, and stabilize your economics. Sometimes it's not working, the hustling as you feel. Find a job if you have to be a caretaker, if you have to be, you know what I mean? Get a job and just get a steady income and still do whatever you are doing on the side. But right now is the time to stabilize the fullness and invest into getting to where you need to go. This is the time of hard decision. I'm calling right now the Tender Mercies family. I just wanted to check in with an update. Um, what is happening, because there's a ceasefire in Israel and Iran. I don't want, and I feel like the shutdown of the global shipping is not going to happen. The scarcity of food on shelf is not going to happen. Global lockdowns where you can't travel bans, we see them already being imposed on African nations. They're going to be coming both ways. So restriction of travel, all of these things are on the horizon. So I don't want I get comfortable right now and feel like everything is airy. The other thing, the economic weapons. Are we utilizing the economic weapon? Our biggest weapon that we have as a global family is our economic weapon, and we have to wield it the right way, meaning make sure that we're spending our dollar with Rastafari Pan-African businesses. So big up all of the Lion Pride and Patreon who are supporting Black Rastafari independent non-aligned media. These are pioneers. Their names will go down in the history. We're trying to get to 100 people. Right now, we're still at about 38. We fluctuate between 36, 38 people. So we need more of the item to join us to push this thing to the next level. Before I chat, because I do have a hard stop at 7 p.m., I want to share some great news with the family. We have entered an agreement with one of our legendary Aishans, and I want to just big up Brother Carl. I've been talking about Brother Carl's book. It's now available. I said we would have the information. I will make sure to start including it in the subscription. Brother Carl is coming on board as one of our sponsors here on the Lion Voice Network. So you can see we're building a Rastafari ecosystem. The same way you'd watch CNN or MSNBC and you see whole heap of Babylon commercial. When you come a Rastafari platform, we want the item to see the marketplace of Rastafari businesses and services, so we can start to circulate that dollar. Again, family, we have to build our own infrastructure, our own ecosystem. If we want it to be sustainable, have to be sustainable. So support our elder brother Carl. This was one of the seminal books in my trad as the reading Ras. This was one of the books that, help I to really see the biblical connection with His Imperial Majesty. A lot of the speeches in the book are His Majesty speaking on the Bible, at different conferences and things like that. So it's a must-have in the collection. Brother Carl also puts his wisdom in terms of the Abrahamic covenant. So big up Brother Carl for investing in Rastafari independent non-aligned media, along with Frontline Books. And I have another niceness to share with the item. The Association of Rastafari Creatives, otherwise known as ARC. We are preparing a summer camp. We have a summer camp coming up, and that summer camp is a virtual summer camp. So very powerful. If you have young people, you might want this summer, you can sign up at RastafariCreatives.com. It's going to be historic. This is the second year that we're doing the camp. I'm trying to hold on there. I'm trying to pull up okay, that's why. I'm trying to pull up a commercial here. for the camp to play for the item exclusive. The Lion Voice Network, we will be one of the sponsors of the youth camp. So the Association of Rastafari Creatives is a trade association for Rastafari in the creative industry. We include agriculture as part of the creative industry. We say farmers are creatives. So if you have a young person and you want them to, have some interaction with other Rastafari youths around the globe, it's a nice reaffirming type of vibration. And those of us who have children, a lot of time our youths are the only youths with locks in their area, or they don't get to see other youths like themselves. You know what I mean? So it's just very nice when you can be in an environment, you can interact with other youths. It is virtual. We are working our way to build up to where we can have an in-person camp in local regions as well. So again, if you're watching this channel, it means that you love Rastafari, you love the Pan-African family. All right. So, you know what I mean? This is, hold on 1 second here. This is very important because everything that we're doing is to make the global family better. All right, hold on. I want into this.
All right, so continuing on, family, we're going to talk about the drums right now. The bass drum is the foundation. It gives off that frequency. It encompasses and surrounds and keeps the Ayabingi within a one place. It's always on the one. One soul, one mute. Alright? Very important.
The more aware you are of yourself, the more you come to know yourself, the more mindful you are.
So these are the classes.
Is the more skilled you become at using this powerful engine, which is your mind.
And then the resolution is like just finishing up the lessons now and just saying yes and reminding people of the theme of your story. So, the theme of this story was the importance of agriculture.
For the motherland, cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders whom we can learn much, for the youth who represent our promise for tomorrow, for the people, the original people, for the struggle and remembrance of those who struggled on our behalf, for Umoja, the principle of unity that guides us in all we do, for the Creator who created all the things great and small. We give thanks.
Let's go through the principles. The first one, blessed love and greetings. Welcome to day 5, our last day of camp. That's sad, right? Too short. Just when I started to have fun, it's over. But it's been fun, and we'll do this again next year, most definitely. Looking forward to seeing you all again, and stay connected after camp.
Yes, so the camp enrollment is starting August 11th to the 15th. If you have a young person, I would say under 18, this could be a nice vibration for them to link with other Rastafari youths around the world. We're still in our early phases, but you can see the type of time that we're on over here. This is not no talk shop. You know what I mean? We about the works. All of those are founding ARC members, by the way, the instructors. We're adding new instructors this year, so there'll be more different classes. There's going to be a content creation component this year. The youth them are going to learn about content creation and things. So it's a nice little vibration to consider if you have young people at the house and you're looking for activities. They're already on the screens, but they can now use the screen time to make lasting connections and learn about their culture, affirm themselves as Rastafari youths. It is a Rastafari camp, so The focus this year is going to be His Majesty's speech on leadership given to the University College of Addis Ababa. So it is, Pan-African children are welcome, but just know that this is a Rastafari camp. We need our Rastafari camps, so we created one. So big up Sister Isla, all of the ARC family who have been working very tirelessly. I've been sitting in on some of the meetings, and trust me, a whole heap of work has gone into this effort. I want to also thank Sister Janine. She's going to be playing a major role as well this year. So there'll be more vibration. Hold on here 1 second. There'll be more vibration that we will be sharing over the time, and we'll have some interviews probably as we get closer. But just know the ARC summer camp is around the corner. We also have a Shashamane Foundation event coming up beginning of August. We're going to have Brother Carl on the platform to talk about Shashamane development, the school in Shashamane, one of the biggest institution that Rastafari has built and managed over 20 years. Thousands of Ethiopian youths educated, something that we can be proud of. Their annual fundraiser is coming up, so we'll be interviewing Brother Carl and maybe some other ones about that work. So stay tuned. We are here. As I said, I have a hard stop. We have the Universal Development of Rastafari study group today. If you want to join the study group, you can join my Patreon for free. The link is in our Patreon. So we're going to hop off this and go jump into the study group. We are reading from the selected speeches of His Majesty, sharpening the sword. Right now, that is one thing in the Armageddon. Let me leave on that note. We got to sharpen the sword. No way His Majesty say, a lot of brethren have a lot to say, and I always put a brethren resume side of His Majesty, and whoever win, that is who I'm inclined to follow, and His Majesty never lose one of them comparison yet. So I try know His Majesty sound, and I stick to that. It might not overstand it, immediately, but I found that over time, I get to see the balance of His Majesty more. A lot of things I questioned terribly when I was young, moves His Majesty make when you get to be older and you get in positions of leadership and you know what's at stake and you see why certain decisions were made. You have more understanding as a parent, especially. You see how you can love someone and they don't listen to you. Does not change the love what you have for them. You know what I mean? So His Majesty is something that all of us should really strive for. So Universal Development of Rastafari study group about to happen. So we're going to sign off today. We were talking about the tender mercies. Let I know if this was helpful. Do you like the geopolitics analysis where we go? I could go deeper, depending on how deep the item want to go. But the moral of the story is don't get comfortable because you see a ceasefire is there. Don't feel like war done. Don't feel like atomic bomb might not drop in the future. Any card can play right now because we're dealing with desperation. We're dealing with world conquest dreams. The baby boomers want to go out with a boom. You know what I mean? These are the ones who are pushing. They're getting older. They're leaving the earth, and the things that they've worked for now is to them their go time. So young people are dying as a result. And we all have to be aware and be prepared and don't stop preparing. Don't stop sharpening. You know what I mean? Don't stop connecting. This is not the time for the lone lion and lioness. This is the time to couple up. This is the time to group up, find the like minds. I don't argue with people, family. I agree to disagree. One of the greatest superpower you can learn, because I don't have time right now. You know what I mean? We agree to disagree. If you present new facts, I can go home and sleep on them and, decide if I want to evolve where me there. But I'm not going back and forth to prove anything to anyone. If something one thing is working for them, just go with them. You know what I mean? What I'm doing is working for I, so we're staying on that path, and that path was outlined by Kadamawi Haile Selassie the first. And again, we're looking for like-minded people to link up with, so we can manifest this great golden era, this great Zion, which comes manifests from internal to the external, the alternative to Rabba Babylon, equal rights and justice, place, of glory. The Almighty is praised day and night. You know what I mean? That is what we're working for. That is what everything that we're doing is all about. So big up everyone who watch live, everybody who comes in on the replay. Big up on yourself. We are here. We are growing, and we won't stop. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion Voice.
This is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
Yes, job people, this is Michael Shamai representing. I will say, hear the Lion Voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Selassie I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Of the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
The time has come for lions to tell our own story. Yes, you're listening to Lion's Voice. I is Dejazmatch hailing from the island of St. Croix. Yeah, I'm bringing to you Rastafari vibes. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Babylon born when Rasta come together. Can you feel it? Rastafari. Because Babylon done when I and I come together. Look how we live together, Look how we work together, Oh, Babylon done when Rasta come together. Haile, Rastafari, His Majesty and Empress men in bless. Yeah man, hailing from St. Croix, Rastafari, I hear you.
Aye.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Rastafari.
Yo, this is Zelle representing for DejKwasi and the whole Lion Voice family. Now listen this is the realest thing. Him closer to me than a brother. Him a me G, me a tell him I'm a lion. Me a go tell you how me feel, me a go keep it real. Me nah go wait till him lay down on the mark. Lion Voice never talk bad about me yet. Him realness me can't forget. Cause when a game time him never bench me, him never rise up against me yet. No, the friendship connect. It's funny how we can talk in front of a million people and never yet drop no catch. So a loyalty till death. Lion voice, and Zeladina representing. Up, up, up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jalifa said that.
Greetings, this is Haile. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir. Haile said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right here, sir.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the light. Lion Voice.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what more could I eat right now?
What about a city samosa? Get your samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican, and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Yeah. I shall lift up I eyes unto the hills from whence cometh I help. I help coming from the true living eyes, Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, who created Zion and earth. He shall not suffer I foot to be moved. I hold, he that keepeth Ethiopia shall neither slumber nor sleep. Well, youths in the streets right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now. Riots in your town now. Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now. Riot in your town now. Babylon them burning down. The youth them rise against brutality. Man a kill another man for your salary. Them train them at the shooting gallery. Black and loot, you might lose all your family. Them defend white supremacy, so them see the African as them enemy. It's been like this for centuries, them sick mentally. That's why we have you out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. Them said them tired of the looting. I and I tired of them shooting. Ku Klux Klan they recruiting. Then them dress up in a blue suit and they're brutalizing our youths them. No court, they just execute them. Till the people start learn the truth and the black youths go strap on them Gideon boot and them out in the streets right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. One bad police right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. No justice, no peace right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The fire now cease right now. Riots in your town now, Babylon them burning down. The Most High denounce their philosophy. Talk to United Nations properly. He said we will fight if necessary and be confident in the victory. They try to erase our history. They wanted to change our destiny. Cause we are the children of the Almighty, destined to lead the whole world to harmony. Well, front to us a son was born and a child was given.
I want to ask you a question. Have you got your book? Haile Selassie's Ethiopia Volume 1, The Rise of the Priest Warrior King. I've read the book in its entirety and I must say it's very inspirational, very informative and very historical, right?
Them calling Lived for right when he was born, rainfall from sky. Them calling Lived for right when he was grown, in airplanes he fly. They call him Lived for right, lion break the chain, weep not, don't cry. Them call him Lived for right, read the Revelation chapter 5 verse 5. Then born near the city of Harar, the inspiration from Bob Marley's guitar. People crowd him like some big superstar. It no matter if England